Hi guys, this is Cassie. I'm studying abroad in Japan at Kansai Gaidai University for one semester, and today I wanted to make a video about my top 5 tips for studying abroad. So my first tip is simply plan ahead. If you really want to study abroad, just know that there are so many different components that go into it. Everything from packing your suitcase so you don't overpack too much, to buying your plane tickets and figuring out what time you're going to arrive in the country. And for example, for me, I had to make sure that when I landed in Japan, it would be in a time where the bus from Kansai Gaidai would come and pick me up. I would also recommend studying up as much as you can about the university program that you're going to do. That might seem like something that's a little bit obvious, but really try to understand all the costs all the way down to, plane fare, commuting costs, textbooks, how much it costs is for living, how much the food is. It's really important to do your research and to plan as much as possible, so hopefully your margin of error goes down, so maybe you don't have a crisis when you go abroad or something like that. That's not likely to happen either way, but it's just good to plan ahead, especially if you're kind of OCD like me and I like to know every aspect of what's going on. Number 2 is scholarships. They're out there, and I highly recommend that you do them if you can. They are time consuming, but there are so many options and study abroad is so expensive. I can't recommend doing this more if you can find the time to do it. Studying abroad at the beginning is a really time consuming application process. For me, my deadline to apply for study abroad was somewhere around, I want to say January, when I was studying abroad in fall of that year. And most of the deadlines for scholarships are around like February or March. So you have to do basically everything at the same time, and even as you're applying to study abroad and you don't know if you're getting in yet, you're already applying to scholarships, not knowing if you're going to get into that study abroad program or not. So yeah, just do your research on scholarships. I was blessed enough, I made an entire another video for it, but I actually ended up winning 3 out of 5 scholarships that I applied for, and pretty much almost all of my expenses are being paid for because of that. I have so much less debt thanks to scholarships, thanks to the Gilman Scholarship and the Freeman Asia Scholarship, and a scholarship that I actually won from my own home university. Number 3, it's really important to keep a positive and open mindset when you're going to another country. Just keep in mind that the country's culture is going to be probably extremely different from yours, whether or not they speak a different language or not. The customs, the attitudes, the personalities, the food, literally everything could be completely different. And obviously, if you're studying abroad, you probably already know that, you have that in mind. That's why you want to study abroad, because you want to experience something different. But there might be some things that make you uncomfortable. Like for me, being in Japan, there's like Japanese toilets are really weird compared to normal American toilets. Some food is really strange, like we eat fish that like has eyeballs in it sometimes. Some things are really strange to me that are completely normal to them. You're studying abroad, just try to stay positive about everything and be willing to try new things at least once. If you don't like it, that's okay, but at least once try it. Number 4, don't waste your time. And I don't mean this in a negative way, I just mean you're studying abroad, try not to be, shy and secluded. Go outside and experience as much of the country as you possibly can. So in that way, try not to waste your time. You already spend so much money and effort to make it to the country, so try to get as much experience out of it as possible. But also don't forget to study. It's ideal to find a balance, and I know saying that is easier than it actually is. Even for me at the beginning, I was so blitzed about being in Japan. I just wanted to go and experience everything. And at the beginning, I didn't realize how hard my classes actually were, and I definitely needed to spend more time studying than I was. Now I have that balanced out, but at the beginning I definitely didn't, which is fine because, I've learned from my mistakes and now I have a good balance of everything. So I really recommend that if you can try to do that. Number 5, last tip, it's okay to be scared. You're in a new country, maybe you don't know the customs super well, maybe you don't know the language. Some of the things about that country specifically can be scary, like rumors of For me, like, Japanese train systems were supposed to be super scary, but in reality they weren't super bad. And just know that being lost at the beginning and being scared, it's all okay and it's completely normal. It's completely normal too to be homesick. For me, at the beginning I wasn't very homesick, but now, 3 months in, I can kind of feel a little bit homesick, but I know that I'm going home in a month from now, so I'll be okay. So really just try not to let your fear ruin your experience. At the beginning it can totally be normal to feel alone and scared and misunderstanding perhaps a lot of what's going on around you, but just know that that's completely normal too, and it's gonna get better, and you might still experience scary things throughout your entire experience abroad, but that's gonna make you a stronger person in the end, and hopefully, you know, you'll learn from those fears and understand that there was nothing to be scared about in the first place. So those were my 5 top tips for studying abroad. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something. Bye!